Well, folks, I've been really trying to get my nervous system to let up a little so I could have some cogent thoughts about what I'm grateful for this Thanksgiving. All the standard things come to mind: my family, my friends, my work, my spirituality. But I keep hearing this voice saying, well, you should have been grateful enough to work harder to save democracy. You should have been paying attention before the cult took hold. And then, of course, it's always hard to get around the fact that Thanksgiving is just a ruse, just something America made up to make herself feel better about oppressing people, which she obviously doesn't give a shit about today. And ultimately, how do you feel grateful when it feels like America is slowly walking the plank? The most clear-eyed explanations of America's downfall I've heard have come from people watching us from afar. Other countries are horrified and not at all surprised. America is selfish. We have no concept of how our actions impact anyone else. We're insulated, privileged, narcissistic, and poorly educated. We suck at community. We base our blessings on our station, and our station on our blessings. And America has been molested by a cult and a media machine that might as well be bombing our cities and poisoning our water. They weakened the infrastructure, and now Orangina is going to send out his army with sledgehammers. We're going to watch cruelty and devastation, and we're going to watch the cult normalize it and explain it away with talking points that won't even be marginally sensical. We're going to see capitulation that will blow our minds. So where does gratitude fit in? I guess for me, when I think of gratitude, I think of all of you and all of the people who rolled up their sleeves to champion the woman who was supposed to right the ship. I feel grateful that even after Kamala lost, in a fashion almost impossible to believe, like the Butler, Pennsylvania miraculous ear pew-pew / photo op, even after she lost, I didn't feel as devastated as I did when Joe got shivved at the debate. And that's because I got to see our country try to turn things around so quickly. I got to see stunning community in all the folks who poured their hearts into electing Kamala. I'm grateful for that country. That's my country. And we're still breathing. We're still out here doing our best. We're only going to find more resolve. We're only going to get smarter and savvier and more painfully aware of the things we took for granted, and more willing to make sure we get them back. And like Mr. Rogers taught us, we're going to look to the helpers for inspiration, and we're going to find them wherever we look, at all levels of society. We're going to see bravery that we'll never forget. As of right now, I still think people are more good than bad. I'm actually grateful I still believe that. Here's the thing. I'm furious with MAGA. I'm disappointed and disgusted and mad. But the part of me that wants to fix things knows I won't ultimately be effective if I can't get past being mad. I'm grateful I still have a part of me that can see that. I've spent a lot of time blaming and disparaging MAGA. I think that's fair enough. But my higher brain is accepting the fact that the people who got sucked into it weren't equipped to reject the cult. They've not only been denied ample education, they've also been taught not to think, not to learn, not to evolve. And they're never going to be able to do those things without people teaching them how. People who've had the privilege of education and the space and encouragement to make mistakes, try new things, and develop critical thinking. It's definitely not fair. We didn't attack our own by dumbing them down and scaring them into a cult, but it's going to fall largely on us to undo the damage. And I guess, even though it makes me exhausted to think I'm going to have to extend grace to folks who probably want to hurt me and my family, I'm grateful to have the kind of brain and the kind of growth under my belt to know that that's what needs to happen. When MAGAs start to jump ship, we're going to need to reintroduce them to civil society. We're going to have to disprove all the lies they believe about liberals. We're going to have to show them models of leadership that truly have everyone's best interests at heart. And we're going to have to keep the concepts simple, compassionate, and empowering. None of it sounds like much fun, especially knowing the hurting hasn't even gotten anywhere near up to speed yet. But we can be grateful we have the foresight to know in the long term we can't stop hate with hate. I think America will learn from her suffering. She may not be using all of her brain, but America is not doomed to be dumb. Not when so many of us are awake, even fucking woke. So I'm grateful for all of you, for all of the people who came together to try to stop us from walking the plank. We may lose a couple of limbs to the sharks, but we'll try to reattach them together. And the camaraderie in that common goal should make us grateful. Yeah. Well, everyone, happy Thanksgiving. Love ya.